I don't know how that live got gone. I don't know if somebody was there reporting it, because we had plenty of people watching. We had likes. No, we don't be having enough likes. Oh my God. Oh my God. We don't have enough likes. I done told y'all. My live is not going to stay up without enough likes. It's not going to stay up. I have enough views, but not enough likes. Y'all got to learn how. If you want us to continue the conversation, you're going to have to start. Y'all are going to have to start even thumbsing up or thumbsing down the live. They do that. People report me. And I think, can you thumbs up the live? I don't know. I've been on YouTube, so I've been on YouTube so long, and it seemed like I've not taught y'all how to really do YouTube. Y'all hit the like button as soon as you come in, or else YouTube drops our live. We just had a really good conversation going, and this is frustrating for me. I got 5 viewers. Y'all hit the like button. So I guess I'm going to have to spend time making y'all hit the damn like button. Because the live drops, y'all. It drops if you don't hit the... Then we got 4 viewers. Can y'all hit the like button, please? Can you share it? Can you share the live? Send it to somebody in a text message. Just send it to somebody. I like the way my hair is turning into an afro. This is cutesy. A little red afro. So yeah, a lot of times Christians can have a lack of empathy. They don't even realize it. And where it's coming from is when you read the Bible itself, there's a lack of empathy there. It's on the pages. Sharing now. Thank you. If you can share it more than once, that'd be great. That helps the live stay up. So on the pages is a lack of empathy. And also the pastors, a lot of times they have a lack of, but the church is full of narcissists, though. I keep telling y'all that. It's narcissism. It really is. And it's a dangerous place. Dangerous place for people to go. It is. But I did want to share with y'all. Dang on it, it's gone. There it goes. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Hey, Mr. Time. The problem was never Christianity. The problem is that everyone's entitled to their own belief system until it doesn't align. No. Hey, y'all. Oh, I done lost it. Hold on, y'all. We always struggle streaming. I hate it. I hate that we go through that. What's this? I hate we always struggle streaming, honey, especially when I'm in a teaching mode. Let me see. Did I share that? Let me see. Jasmine. There it is. Jasmine and the 20 Christians. And these are I want to share this clip with y'all. Let's see. Oh, God, it went down to 1 viewer. Y'all come back. Come back. 10 people. All right, I'm getting ready to let y'all listen to something. Listen. The episode of Occultist Spiritualist Witch.
Jasmine ate those 20 Christian women up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and she did it with kindness, grace, poise, respect, an educated mind, which is nothing.
She's so smart.
Those 20 Christian women could give back to her. Now, do you know the video that I'm talking about? Now, there's a spiritual woman on here. Her name is Jasmine. She's kind of like, I would say, like me. More.
What do you say, Mr. Time? I don't believe there'll be no more empathy in this world. I believe people would care, but the selfish narcissist world that we live in today is going to get worse, and you can look at Mississippi. No, there are lots of empaths, though, Mr. Time. There are lots of us that are alive. We've been sent here to this world to change this world. And it is changing, but the narcissism is at an epidemic. You know, I got a lot of narcissists in my family. When these churches that I went to, they are full of narcissists. It took me all my life to realize what was going on. You got a lot of coaches that are narcissists. These people are horrible. They're on stage in your life, and I'm telling you, these 20 women that Jasmine were talking to, a lot of them are narcissists. But I'll show y'all. Just hold on for a second. Listen.
Spiritual than religious. Well, she did a panel. Yeah, I guess we're calling it a panel with 20 devoted Christian women. And they were going back and forth on religion versus spirituality and the things of tarot cards and crystals and why these 20 Christian women don't believe that crystals have healing powers and that tarot cards.
But this my thing. How is, oh my goodness. How is the crystals any different than the oil? Christians use olive oil. They call it anointing oil that they put on people. They use holy water. They hit you with white rags. How is that any different than the crystal? Crystal is what God made. It come from the earth. Oh, child, it's terrible. Listen.
Are demonic. Basically, everything that they believed was demonic. And accusing her of all of her intentions and things are coming from a demonic force. And she was getting.
That's because anything that's not Christian, anything that's not the church, they consider demonic. That's why. Let's say this. The church is in love with demons. Okay? Because their focus is always demonic. It's always demonic. Matter of fact, they give the demonic more time and focus than they do God. It's annoying.
Giving them reasons why, no, that's absolutely incorrect. Your thoughts are just coming from this book written by men. So it's a back and forth. But let me just say, those women.
Y'all hit the
so
like button.
defensive.
Y'all hit the like button, please, so the live don't drop. There's 16 people here. Just hit the like, please. Heart the video and hit the like. Don't forget.
Such nasty looks. They tried convincing her that what she believes in is incorrect. However, not once.
Thank you for
did she
keep
ever
on hitting the
return
like
that type
button.
of energy towards these Christian women, which just proves my point that Christian.
Yes, Mason Chase, we had to start over because our live dropped. Hit the like button, Mason. Listen.
Are the most sensitive, fragile, love to play victims, and actually don't even believe in what they're pushing to the world. Because first of
No,
all,
I don't agree with that. They do believe in what they're pushing out to the world. Do you think people just die and that's it? Do you think evil demon souls go somewhere? I'm curious. Okay, let me tell you for once and for all what I think. I don't think that anybody dies. I don't think that. I think that energy transfers. I think that there are other dimensions. I cannot, in my mind, visualizing a wonderful, powerful, smart, intelligent being who just created one earth. I don't believe that. I believe there's a whole lot more going on than what we know. No, I don't believe that. I believe that once you are born, you have always been being born and you never cease to exist. I believe that if you don't learn your lesson in this lifetime, then you will go somewhere else to repeat it again. I believe that we are always learning and evolving. I believe that the body dies just like the leaves that fall from the tree. I mean, I swear, if we cut a finger off and set it on the porch, that finger will decay and eventually it will turn to dirt. I believe that we are spirit just like God and we are housed in a body. That's what I believe. My understanding of spiritual things is way more broader than what I've learned in Christianity. Christianity is a starting place. That's all it is. But also it can be a place that stifles you to death. Yeah. And also Christianity too, in my opinion, is a place for simple-minded people. And I feel like depending on your intelligence, will determine whether or not you come out of that thing and evolve. If your brain has a certain type of capacity, that's where you'll end up staying. That's what I believe.
being defensive is the number what you're believing, and that you have a guilty conscience about something. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's absolutely amazing. It's blowing up right now on TikTok.
I
Her name is
know, it's so
Jasmine.
big.
It's phenomenal. It will literally change the way you look at spirituality, Christianity. It's beautiful. Jasmine ate those 20 Christian women.
Oh yeah, I believe that too, Mason Chase. I believe that too. I believe what you just said.
Breakfast, lunch, and
I think any religion can be home for simple minded people. I believe that. And I'm not so sure that it's a totally a totally terrible thing. It's a starting place, you know? It's a starting place. But as far as, do I believe that we die like, and that is it? That is it for this lifetime, yes. Yeah. I believe that we get caught up in our fear, and it is scary at first, especially when you learn these things. And you got so many other people around you, like your aunts and your uncles and your grandma and your grandpa, and they all go to the Baptist church, and and then when they get really old, they really get in there and they forget about their young years, and then everybody have a Christian funeral, and everybody be buried over there behind Good Hope Church, and that. No, it's more to it than all of that. Okay, so are you a counselor? I'm a thinker. That's what I am. Okay, so you believe our soul goes somewhere else. Hold on. Oof, child, hold on. Ooh, sorry, my eye was itching bad. All right. Okay, so you believe your soul goes somewhere else, and we live again, okay, but not heaven or hell, just a regular place, but somewhere else, just learning, not criticism. I believe that we evolve and go to different dimensions that spirit has created. The idea of going to a hell and sitting at Jesus' feet is crazy to me. And it's very elemental. Like, I don't want to do that. Who wants to do that? Like, after you rest for 5 years, why would you want to rest for another 1,000 years? Why would you want to do that? And I feel like whoever explained that has made God really boring and made him very simple minded. Because if I was God, baby, we would go from one dimension to the next, to the next, to the next. And I'm just Cheryl. God is way smarter than me. You know, I just feel like I don't have no problems with Christians. I don't. I don't have no problem because I used to be one. I don't have a problem with Christians. I'm just saying they're very simple minded, but they are the ones, in my opinion. Woo, the narcissism is off the charts. I'd agree with that. The Bible also suggests we existed somewhere before birth too, which I find fascinating. Me too, Mason Chase. And I do recall in the Bible where God is saying to, I think Jacob, I knew you before you existed in your mother's womb. I knew you. So some people look at that was, oh yeah, because God knows the beginning from the end. Or some people look at that like, I knew you because you were already here with me because you already existed. So I knew you before this life lease, before this life term. True, the soul never dies. We continue into a new body. There is no hell or heaven, just infinite dimensions. I love that. Why you say Christians are narcissists? Well, most of them are. That's how, we come up with that word hypocrite. What is a hypocrite, Cheryl? Oh, it's somebody who lives opposite of what they say. Then they say, well, no, I'm just struggling. That's what they say, the narcissist. No, I'm just struggling. Oh, no, no, I ain't got there yet. Oh, no, what God cover me with his grace. No, there are some people who would never do what you do. And they don't struggle. because they do have empathy and they do have character. They wouldn't be caught dead doing what you have done. You do what you do because you're one of those souls. You're a narcissist. You do not have self reflection. And you can go perform your Christianity. You can go preach your hell and put people in it. But of course, you're going to put people in a hell you don't have any empathy. Of course, they're going. You'll put babies in hell with no empathy. Um, Job, King David, and the Israelites off the top of my head. Mason Chase. What do you mean? Jesus was also exposing religious hypocrites. You're you whitewashed. I love the character of Jesus. I do, for some of the things that was said about him. I love it. I would consider myself to be more like a Jesus type. And the Bible says back in those days he was considered a heretic. He was considered a heretic because he came with a lot more information than what they knew. Because they were focusing on the Torah. He knew the Torah too, but he had went to schools and got educated on Greek mythology and all these other religious books other than Christianity. Well, Christianity didn't exist back then. There was no such a thing as a Christian back then. There was only Christ consciousness. There was no Christian is something that's modern and something that's new.
Dinner, and she did it with.
It's modern and it's new. It's not, it's just so much. Like I say, people don't want to learn. Those were the names of the people I recall God telling he knew them before they were born. Okay. Okay. God's son didn't belong to any man-made religion. None God's son only belonged to the word of God. Well, that can be that can be questionable too because what you know about Geno Jenkins, I do not like Geno Jenkins. He is a comedian. He is a character, and he focused too much on other people's sin. He need to worry about himself. Because Geno Jenkins he do too much talking about other people for him not to be shitty. I would love to hear a sermon about Geno Jenkins and his shortcomings. Geno Jenkins is grandiose to me. He very much could be a narcissist. Too much grandiosity, too much. Jehovah Witnesses are Christians, aren't they? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh yes, Jesus was not a good man. He knocked down the religious leaders until they crucified him for blasphemy, disobeyed Sabbath laws, etc. Okay, so neither are Mormons. Jehovah Witnesses are very much into Jesus, so I don't know why they can't be Christian. They conduct their services like Christians. They go into a building to be taught the word of God and also their literature. So they have more literature than the King James Bible. So I don't know why they can't. They act like Christians. They do. So it is what it is. But I don't like no kind of organized religion. I don't do it at all. I mean, I did Christianity for a long, long time, and I read and studied myself out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like having a Google. So back in those days, I didn't have a Google. And nowadays, you can fact check anything that a preacher say, which is crazy because if I was a minister, I would be nervous. You know what I'm saying? Because the people could sit right in your service and ask their chat GPT about what you just said. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like churches are filling themselves, they're filling their belly with less intelligent people or people that they could easily manipulate or people that grew up in church and they don't care from the right or the wrong. They don't care to study the Bible because it's just what they do. It's just like going to Harris Teeter versus Food Lion. It's just a part of their life. They really don't have no real conviction about what's on the pages of the book. That's what I think. You know what I mean? All religions, some made up white man shit. Okay. Very much patriarchal, yes. Church, let me see. Church folks, the worst folks. I believe that. Because they're narcissists. I told most of them are. I believe 85 to 90% of them are. Jesus did not preach or teach from a book, but his heart that God, but he went to school, Josie. He went to school for a long time. When he disappeared at 12 and came back at 33, he went to school. He read all of the Greek mythology and all of the other books. It is in the Apocrypha. So if you get into the Apocrypha, you'll learn even more stuff. But you know, the Catholics in the Church of Nicaea got rid of the Apocrypha. They took that out when they turned church into a corporation and it became a business. They took all of that out. But Jesus went into higher education. So when he came back, he had more than the Old Testament. He had more than that. I put my reasons for not counting Jehovah's Witnesses above. Okay. All right, let's see. The problem is man and woman thinks they know everything about God, but God had to give his disciples parables because he said your flesh would not understand. Now this right here, I really hate this because this is the know all go to for Christians. Well, Cheryl, the flesh don't understand. Well, listen, God has a responsibility because see, we're not just spirit, right? Because then we won't need the body, but we live in the earth and God put us in the body. So that's bull jive. It's bull jive. It's a way for Christian people to paint other people to the point where they are trying to say, well, you don't understand us because you're flesh. But they are flesh too. We all are spiritual and we all have flesh. So we all are that way. You understand? So I do understand. I do understand the doctrine, what it taught, what it's teaching, and what status quo believes, or Christians, what they believe, and what I used to believe. I used to say the same thing. He went also to study with God because God spoke to him. We're not gonna go with the study with God because no. I'm not talking about going study. Anybody could say they went and studied with God. No. He went to school and learned literature. He went to school and learned different philosophies and not biblical information because the Bible wasn't even a Bible back then. You just had the Torah. But he went to learn other literature, not just the Old Testament. That's what I'm saying. And from those teachings, he came back with other information. Black Hebrew Israelites are false religion. They believe white people are devils. Black Hebrew Israelites is not a false religion. If Black Hebrew Israelite is false religion, then all religions are false, including Christians. Some white people are devils, just like a lot of Christians are narcissists. Anytime the Bible was edited to make you believe that God cursed Black people and that it was God's will to make Black people slaves and that slaves should serve their white masters as they serve the Lord, that is a white devil. Because those are lies. That's manipulation, that's gaslighting, that's narcissism, that's editing, that's writing yourself into power. Let's keep it real over here. We're not doing that. See, I don't allow myself to be bullied by people, theology, or what's written on books, or dead people. God did not say no such a thing. But a religious white narcissist would say that. He would write himself into power. He would take the religious writings from Africa and he would manipulate it and he would mass produce it and send it out into the world to put himself on top. It's just sad that a lot of people don't understand that because they are not Scorpio and they don't know how to cut through the chase. They don't know how to see shit as it really is and not be scared to say that. All right, let's see. Y'all is going in. Tell him, Miss Lady. I think we all write in our minds, so it will never end these stories. I just love white people are not the only devils. Black people had slaves also. I don't know about that. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Black people did. Girl, Josie Lord, let me breathe. Nobody treated a slave like a white man. In my opinion, the reason why he is a goddamn Machiavellian. Somebody Google Machiavellian. In my opinion, he is a narcissist. In my opinion, he was a psychopath. In my opinion, he was a devil. A lot of people had slaves, employees. A lot of people had slaves, maids. A lot of people have slaves, butlers. A lot of people have slaves, nannies. But won't too many people gonna feed black babies to alligators. Not too many people would whip a black man down to the bone. Not too many people would rape a black man in front of his family. A lot of people had slaves. They were maids, butlers, employees. Black people didn't treat their other blacks like that. The white people did that. They were Machiavellians. They were psychopaths. They were narcissists. They were devils. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's what they did with the slaves. Let you know what they were. Also, good man, the illusion of a white Jesus came from medieval times. It's the white Jesus for me. And that's what I'm saying. We get into colonization and the patriarchy. So they took black literature, took it from Africa. They want to call it the Middle East. Ain't no such a fucking thing. Middle East is all Africa. They took it and then they brought it over here, and then they wrote themselves into power, and then they turned Jesus white. What an edit. Y'all hit the like button. This live gonna drop if y'all don't do it. Thank you, Trevo. So yeah, that's the difference. It is the emotional component. It is the lack of empathy. It's the lack of love and the Machiavellianism and the barbarianism. It's the eating blacks, creating a cookbook to consume black bodies. It's that too. Was Jesus a Jew born to marry the jewel? I heard that. Are you saying jewel or Jew? I mean a Jew. Okay. In my opinion, a black Jew, yes. Black people are indigenous to the whole entire globe. The book of Enoch is false. Being mentioned in the Bible doesn't make it true. It's a cultural reference. The idea that demons and humans made giants is a mistranslation. Well, you could say that about every book in the Bible. All of it is a mistranslation. Because translation just means a person or a group of people got together and decided that this is not real information. That's all it is. And then they put it down there as fact. So when I say that I'm rethinking everything, I'm using critical thinking, now I'm thinking like a grown, mature person because now I'm grown. I understand, like when I was a child, I watched TV and I didn't really understand while I'm watching TV, I didn't really understand that that program that I'm watching is coming out of somebody's mind. It is their idea. It is being produced on the television. They are deciding what they will show. They are putting it a certain narrative on the TV. There's somebody behind what I see. When I read the Bible, that's how I read it. There's something behind what I'm reading. There is a person here that is writing, scripting, and narrating what's being put on the paper. This person has their own biases, their own experience, their own perspective. I have mine. This is the difference between me and a regular Christian. This is the difference. And this is what I want for y'all. I want y'all to be able to do this. It's very important. So every book in the Bible is faltered. So where are we getting our knowledge from? Let me ask you something about this, Josie. Is every person that you've ever met faltered? Everybody on the live, put in one in the chat. If anybody on the live feel where I'm coming from, I'm asking you, number one, is everybody in the world that you've ever met faltered? Number two, have you ever met a person who is perfect, who does not lie, who understands everything, who is not biased, who is just perfect? Have you ever? So the answer is going to be no and no. So yes, every book, every chapter is a falter. Yes. Because that's just what we do as human beings. No, no. And so the Bible, the book says that Jesus was perfect. Now, that is not true. Because even the God of the Old Testament wasn't perfect because he made a mistake in making Lucifer. That's a mistake. Even the God of the Old Testament continues to say over and over that he made a mistake. So Jesus is not perfect either. That's a fallacy. It's not real. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to use your critical thinking, but this is a skill because see, y'all are babies in it, not me. I'm grown in it. I might be introducing y'all to the ability to do this. So no, Jesus was not perfect. In order to prosper, you must lie in the truth. God is holy. God is spirit. You had black on black slavery, no racism, all. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm asking, is every book in the Bible a falter? Yes, because I don't want to waste my time reading all of it. Well, in my opinion, yes. But that's just my opinion, Josie. It's just my opinion. Yes, it's faltered. Like we are. We're faltered. Lady, you are only teaching flesh. Well, it's your opinion. Bless your heart. You don't know what critical thinking is. That's not my fault. I guarantee you I'm smarter than you. I guarantee you. And I might have more courage than you too. You might be more afraid than me. Yeah, I guarantee it. You might be a little bit more intimidated than me too. I guarantee you can't do what I do. I guarantee because you don't even have a real picture here. So I'm not responding to you anymore. Is that a real photo? I'm not responding. So I'm getting ready to block you because this is not that kind of live. Go to the next live. You need help and you need Jesus. Okay, well, I didn't ask you for any help. I'm sitting in my own house. I got food in my refrigerator. I got 2 cars outside. I got 2 jobs. I'm in my right mind. I got wonderful children and grandkids. I don't have a man who's worrying me. I don't have to fuck if I don't want to. I don't have to ask nobody for an allowance to go shopping. I mean, I don't understand. What are you talking about? I don't. I do what I want. I have wonderful friends. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know everything. No, I don't know everything. I'm just saying you don't know me. Can y'all thumbs up the live? Muslims believe Jesus is a prophet. Well, Jesus is not the only prophet. There are plenty of prophets. The ability to, as a spiritual person, because we're spirit. We live in a body. We're not this body. We live in it. To be able to see what is to come is a beautiful thing that a lot of people possess that trait or that ability to do that. A lot of people do. I've met people in my real life that were very much like that, very prophetic, or very able to understand certain things. They are saying that neurodivergent people or people with ADHD have superpowers because of the ability to have pattern recognition, and also people who are intuitive like me to be able to feel what's going on in people that are around me, to be able to know a person on a deep level without them telling me everything about them. Even when a person try to hide their true self from me, I still can see them, or because I can feel it. It, whatever it is, I feel it. So don't lie to me. Don't try to outsmart me. Don't try to do any of those things because I will know. I've been doing this ever since I was a kid. Um I thought he had no sin. Josie. Oh wow. I never understood how Muslims believe that their religion don't honor his teachings. Muslims go by the Torah. Muslims go by in the Jewish people too, by the Old Testament. They're not going to believe in Jesus. They're not going to believe in it because Jesus said that he and the Father are one. They consider that to be blasphemy, you know? Like a lot of people consider what I say is blasphemous. You see what I'm saying? Um, they go by the Quran. That's the Torah, baby. It's the same thing. Sure, I blocked someone for disrespecting you. Okay. Block them, girl. Block them if you want to. Um, Jesus Christ is God, no prophet. Are you God? It is not different. It's the same thing. It might be a little different, but it's the same. And the Jewish Bible too. It's all those are the Hebrew faiths. Hold on, hold on, because we could use Chat GPT. We can use Chat. It's basically the same thing, boo boo. It's all the Old Testament. It's the same thing. The New Testament comes in really um, to really brand God, really, and turn God into a corporation. That's what the whole focus of the New Testament is. And then the churches took it from there. All right. Hold on. Hello, chat. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for asking. How are you doing tonight?
And I'm doing good. What are the three Hebrew faiths?
Let me check that for you. Okay, so the three major Abrahamic faiths, sometimes people say Hebrew faiths, I think that's what you mean, are Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Judaism is considered the oldest, centered on the covenant,
Mm-hmm.
centered on the covenant between God and the people of Israel. Christianity emerged in the 1st century CE, focused on Jesus as the Messiah. And Islam began in the 7th century with Muhammad as the prophet and the Quran as the central text. So they share some common roots but have distinct beliefs and practices.
Okay, but isn't that the same thing as being a Christian, but the Baptist, the full gospel, and the Pentecostal are like different branches of the same Christianity? Isn't that similar with them?
1 second. So, yes, that's a good comparison, but with one important difference. Baptists, Pentecostals, full gospel churches are denominations within Christianity, so they share core beliefs about Jesus as the Messiah. But Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are three separate religions, not denominations of the same religion.
I
They
know
overlap in.
I know they are the same, they're not the same religion, but they all use the Torah, the Old Testament to some degree.
Yeah, so they each relate to the Torah in different ways. Judaism
Okay,
centers
hold
the
on,
Torah
chat.
as.
Hold on.
Sure.
Did you hear me? Did you hear? Hold on, chat, because I'm on. Hold on. So he said yes, but they relate to it differently. That's what I was telling you, Mason Chase. Hello, 1800. So they all go by the Old Testament, but they relate to it differently. See, I knew that already. It's all they all borrow the same information. Christians do too. It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. I'm serious. They're now what they've done is they've edited. And that's why I said I just can't I can't do religion. I can't do because it's too man made. And my thing is, if it's man made, then my thing is, leave me alone. I can man made my own stuff. I'm 55. I can man made my own. I don't need the philosophers and the I don't need that. I don't need that. The other people that looked into it and they broke down this and you just on a what do you call those things? You're on a treasure hunt for God. I don't need to treasure hunt God. I'm a living being. God is in me, works through me, presents itself as me. I don't need to find God in a book. Even though I can look in books and see what others say about God, but I'm not looking in that book for it to connect me to God. Um Let me see, Miss Grabowski, I was cutting up my fruit of the week and preparing my lunches for the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh my God, I need to be doing that. I'm trying to get the Lord to help me with my intuition. No Christianity, a Christian, no theology school. Theology school ain't no different than going to church, honey. It's all the same information. But anyway, y'all, kisses and hugs, that's enough for tonight. I didn't even get into the video that I want to show y'all. I guess we'll talk about that tomorrow. Um, nah, Josie, you can't separate the old and the new. A lot of Christians now only go by the New Testament here. The reason why is because of what Jesus said. And the sad part about it is people just don't read. If you read and study, Josie, you'll put the Bible down and you won't even go back to it no more. If you do a deeper dive into the Bible itself and you have you a good on time in there, especially if you got pattern recognition, you will put it down, put it on the shelf somewhere. You won't even go back to it no more. Jesus said that he had fulfilled the law. I don't know what people don't understand about that. I know my Bible. Okay, let me just deal with the Bible since y'all Bible people. Jesus said, have fulfilled the law. There's no need for you to keep the law anymore. I have become your righteousness. I have satisfied sin debt. I have taken sin on and become sin for you. There's no need for you to read the commandments anymore. There's no need for you to obey. That's why they killed him. There's no need for you to obey the commandments anymore. I satisfied your sin debt. When I willingly went to the cross, became sin for you, allowed myself to be nailed to the cross and bled and shed my blood, I was the lamb. I was sacrificed for you. You no longer have to be worried about the debt of sin. So therefore, I have become sin for you. There is no more reason for you to observe the law. It is done. It is finished. That's why evolved modern day Christians who know their Bible do not fool with the Old Testament because it is gone away. Did y'all get that? I guess the good man think I'm preaching. When obviously I'm in my house. There ain't no church around here. There ain't no pulpit. There ain't no microphone. We're talking. All right. All right. So that's why they say that, Josie. So go to your chat GPT and ask chat why Christians say they don't read the Old Testament. That's why they don't. Because for on a deeper level, according to your Bible, you can't keep the law. Because the law required for you to keep all of it. There is no way that you can keep the entire law. There's no way. And if you break one, you're guilty of it all. There are thousands of laws, not just the 10 Commandments. But see, this is the thing. A lot of Christians don't know that. I'm saying really. Because they go to church, listen to their pastor. They never really read their Bibles. See what I'm saying? That's why I say I studied myself out of religion. Because everybody around me didn't know what the Bible said. I'm like, what in the world? What is you talking about? What is you doing? When I would listen to people preach their sermon, I was like, they are wrong. They're evidently they're not as smart as me because they didn't understand the text. Jesus became sin for you. You don't have to worry about it no more. Huh? Why you keep writing down the laws and making sure you don't eat seafood and you don't do this and you don't do this and you're not supposed to keep the law anymore. The whole law is done away with, and in doing two things you keep it all. Number one, you love God. Number two, you love your neighbor. If you love God, you'll do what's right. If you love your people, then you're going to treat them right. So there's no need for you to observe the law. So when I was a Christian, I fell in love with Jesus because everything he said pretty much made sense to me. That's why they killed him. Okay? Oh, thank you, Liz. Thank you. God bless me. Bless me with my little, bless me. My outside is like my inside, really. It's alluring, it's charming, it's cutesy, it's wonderful. I match my outside, match my inside. So yeah, as a Christian, if you a Christian, what you worried about sin for? Why are you worried about sin as a Christian? You definitely don't supposed to have your behind in no church that's preaching hellfire and brimstone. What would you do that for? Your preacher don't know his Bible. That's a narcissist preaching to you. That's why I told y'all, church is infested with narcissism. Church is infested with narcissism. Perfect love cast out all fear. You know what I'm saying? Ain't now one of my kids scared of me. My children not afraid of me. They know I wouldn't hurt them. They know I die for them. Even if they did wrong, I would be mad, but I would love them still. I ain't gonna get mad at my kids because they did something wrong and put them in a burning, mighty burning hell. That's a narcissist would do that. And it resonate with narcissists. I'm gonna leave this live with saying this right here now. Y'all need to check y'all soul. I don't care what you confess you are. I don't care if you say you a Christian. I don't care. I know for a fact the church is infested with narcissists. Narcissist congregants and narcissist clergy. God knows how many priests in the Catholic Church are narcissists. So y'all don't fool me. Don't be telling me about no angry God. I'm not scared of no angry God. And I ain't scared of no mean devil. I ain't scared of neither one of them. I looked for a devil for a long time. I couldn't find it. There's nothing here but you, your higher self, and your lower self. That's what's there. And so I guess that's what it is. But if you're a Christian and you go by that Christian Bible, you have no business trying to follow the law. You have no business doing it. Well, if Geno Jenkins is a great preacher, then you just go over there and listen to Geno. What you doing on my live? Because I'm not a preacher. My name is Cheryl Grabowski. I'm a content creator on YouTube. Why are you here on my live? You should be over there listening to Geno Jenkins. Why are you grazing in my field? Why are you partaking of my energy? Why are you attracted to me? Why are you here? Hmm? Me and Geno Jenkins is nothing the same. Not to me. He see everybody else downfalls but his own. He see everybody else mishap but his own. He don't see himself. You know what I mean? Why are you over here bothering with me? I don't take up tithes and offerings. The church don't, people don't feed me. I don't charge for the knowledge that I share. I just share my life and my perspective. I don't charge for it. I could. I could go in the church world and probably make way more money than Geno Jenkins. When I sit down around a group of people and start talking, I always get the floor. I don't get the floor because I take the floor. I get the floor because they give it to me. People always leave my presence with an aha moment. Always. Why are you here talking? Why are you listening to me? Somebody said in a live, I think it was Mason Chase. Was it you, Mason Chase? No, it wasn't you. It was Viv. And she said, or he said, that I told my pastor about you, and he called you Jezebel spirit, and he's going to be praying for you. Your pastor needs to pray for himself. That's what your pastor need to do. Pray for yourself. Because most preachers are pimps. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Terrible, terrible, terrible thing. What was that? I think you might need an elevation. I see What? Animosity. Animosity. What am I? Animosity for what? It might feel like animosity for you because I speak the truth about a lot of these preachers. What you want me to say that a lot of these preachers are good people and they have good motives and they don't. They don't. They only preaching for the money. Just like Geno Jenkins. They only preaching, I think that was an ant. They only preaching for the money. It was, won't it? I see them over there. I don't know. Okay, so I had the house power wash the other day. And ever since then, I've been seeing big black ants. I don't even know where they're coming in at. But babe, you don't know them personally. I don't. You think I got to sit around and watch and see a whole bunch of preachers before I can say whether or not they narcissists? Are you crazy? I only have one life to live. I know for sure because I've known a lot of preachers. That's what I'm telling you. And they are narcissists. I talk to a lot of people. I'm online everywhere. I do observe a lot of preachers. Okay, they are narcissists. Preachers are narcissists are attracted to ministry because in ministry is where they get all their supply. It makes sense that you become a pastor because a lot of times when you are a pastor, people don't question you, and narcissists don't want to be questioned. Also, can they get their supply? Yes, they can. Also, they need their flying monkeys. Do they have? Yeah, they got those too. All of it is there. All the different pieces is there for pastors and congregations. Narcissism. Yep. Um, keep preaching the truth, sister. I will. Sure. Can you help me? What are Jesus Christ's sins, girl? How am I supposed to know? The writer painted Jesus as the writer. Let's get into it. Let's break it down a little bit. The writer painted Jesus as a perfect person, Josie. The writer. I don't know Jesus. I don't even know if Jesus is real because I wasn't alive back in those days, okay? So the only thing we can go by is the writer. Me, I love the character of Jesus, right? But if Jesus was real and he was born, then he was not perfect. Period. I don't care what the writer said. Because first of all, I don't know the writer. I cannot authenticate anything because I was not there. See what I'm saying? I don't know. So, but from what I know, in my 55 years of living, loving, being, and observing, I've never met a perfect person. And I've never met anybody who ever met one. So, no, I don't believe that Jesus was a perfect person. There's historical proof of the authentic. No, it's not. Hold on, let's ask chat. Hold on. That daggone ant done crawl in my chest. Hold on. No, it's not. The Bible cannot be authenticated, Mason Chase. It cannot. Chat GPT. Can the Bible be authenticated?
Let me check. Yeah, so it depends on what you mean by authenticated. Historically, many of the people, places, and events mentioned do have supporting evidence, like archaeological finds or other ancient records. But miracles, like the parting of the Red Sea or the resurrection, those can't be proven or disproven by history. They're faith claims. So, if you're asking whether the Bible is an authentic ancient collection of documents, the answer is yes. If you mean, can we prove every event happened exactly as written? No. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that was lengthy, your explanation, but when we come right down to it, it cannot be authenticated. It can't. We don't know if those people were real. There is no way of knowing that those people were real, chat. Now you got to be honest.
Let me check again. Yeah, it depends on which figures we're talking about. Some, like Pontius Pilate or King David, have extra biblical evidence supporting their existence.
No, no, no. We're not talking about
Many
biblical.
others.
No, no, no. We're not talking about biblical evidence. We're talking about historical evidence, not biblical evidence, because the Bible is not a history book. It is not.
Let me look from strictly a historical perspective. Yeah, historians don't take the Bible itself as proof. They look for external corroboration. For some figures like King David or Pontius Pilate, there is some extra evidence. For many others, especially earlier figures like Moses or Noah, no independent historical evidence has been found.
Okay,
So,
okay, thank
yeah,
you, Chad.
authentic.
Okay, so Mr. Chase, listen. What did I say? The Bible cannot be authenticated. So we're going to just leave that there. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry because you said Jesus sinned. I did say that. Jesus did sin. I said that. I meant it too. He did. Jesus erred. Jesus was not perfect. Jesus made mistakes. Jesus sinned like everybody else. Period. I did say that. So did y'all hear him say, and two things can be true at the same time. I love Jesus' character. I do believe that Jesus was the Son of God, but I don't believe that Jesus did not sin. No. That's why I asked what sin he did. I'm trying to, I don't know what sin he did. I'm just saying, I don't believe that Jesus did not sin. And I don't believe that. I believe that is a claim that people make, but I don't believe that is real. I think that's BS. That's one of them things that's BS. So did y'all hear that though? LOL, Jesus' brother decided he was God. If anyone would believe, it would not be a younger brother unless it was 100% true. Mr. Chase, I ain't thinking about you. Honey, if you are hypocritical, you're, you're my soulmate. You are just making ish up. We are all sinners. We are not all sinners. And don't believe that. That's some old narcissist. Listen, Linda. Linda, listen. Listen, Linda. Linda, listen. Y'all, my nails are not dirty. I did some hair dye at the salon. I can't get it out. Okay, this is not dirt. Listen, Linda. Listen. That is some narcissist that wanted to level the plane. I used to believe that too. Because you got people that are so terrible that they want to believe that when they unalive somebody or that they thrust their grown parts into a baby, that because you stole a piece of toast on the counter, that y'all are equal. That's narcissism. It's not real. We were not born into sin. We are not all sinners. It's not true. But okay, we have no proof he's sin. I was confused. You don't have no proof of anything, Josie. Ain't nothing in that Bible can be proved. We just proved by talking to Chat GPT. It cannot be authenticated. It can't be authenticated. You can't prove it. You have to believe it. No, we are not perfect. Now, Big B, because he's experiencing cognitive dissonance. His brain like his brain don't know what to do. So then he did the same thing to me as they did to Jasmine on YouTube. That the lady that was talking to the 20 Christians. So then he say, I'm leaving your life because you are hell bound. Oh, okay, if that's what you think, but aren't you a wonderful Christian? Because why I'm going to be hell bound? Because of my thoughts and ideas. So I'm supposed to believe what you say versus what I say. And because I believe differently, then I need to go to hell. Huh? And that's why people don't do Christianity no more. People not fooling with y'all. Y'all really make Christianity look bad, but y'all are not even Christian. That's so sad. You really don't even know what your Bible say. You don't even do what your Bible say. You don't do it. If your preacher preach in the pulpit, you don't do. The only reason why you are a Christian is because you are hanging on the idea that God forgive, that you can ask God to forgive you for the stuff that you do, and then God is going to accept you like all narcissists do. All narcissists lean on the very fact because they know they can't do right. They know they can't do right. They know they're gonna do wrong. So the idea of grace and forgiveness, it resonate with them. It resonate. That's why I say the church is plagued with narcissists. All right. So yeah, it resonate with narcissists. Always asking for forgiveness. Always asking for forgiveness. Because you know you got a spirit of do wrong and can't do right. And at the end of the day, no matter how fucking awful you are, you want to take your narcissistic ass and go sit at the throne of Jesus, don't you? You don't want to be held accountable for what you do wrong. You don't want that. You want to use your heaven ticket and your grace and your mercy. And you want to believe that you, with your dirty, sinful, terrible ass, is going to go on and make it to the heaven anyway. That's why I say y'all should love me, because I don't believe in the heaven or the hell. I don't believe in it, and that's gonna benefit you. But your ass is gonna be you gonna be born back in this world again, in the same place, and you're gonna have to repeat this shit over and over and over again until you learn. Oh my God. I'm not, no, don't call me a strayed Christian, Mason. I'm not a strayed Christian. Don't call me that. I'm way more than a strayed Christian. I've been away from Christianity as you guys know it for over 26, 27 years. So don't call me a strayed Christian. Call me an evolved person, and that I've left what the Bible calls the elemental things. And my perspective has broadened, and God is bigger than the church has ever taught me that he was. Don't call me a straight Christian. Yeah, straight Christian is not good. Straight Christian is not what I am. All right. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I killed an ant. Hellfire is real and not just no, no. We're not doing that. Go over there and watch Steven Spielberg, baby, because a white man. You know what I did notice though is that the Book of Revelation and Steven Spielberg Hollywood, cuz y'all know that they say that what is his name? Um Shakespeare wrote a lot of, was it Shakespeare that wrote some of the Bible? But that King James, who's responsible for the King James Bible, let me ask Chat about that. Hold on, I got something to teach y'all. Y'all get ready to learn. I guess y'all, we having a ball. This is fun. Hold on. Chat, I need to ask you a question about King James.
Sure.
He wrote the book called Demonology. Is that right?
Let me check on that. So yes, King James the Firster or Sixth of Scotland did write a book called Demonology in 1597. It argued that witchcraft was real and dangerous, and he believed strongly in punishing witches.
Okay. Was that around the same time that he put the Bible together?
Let me check. So, not exactly. He published Demonology in 1597, but he authorized the translation of the English Bible later. That became what we know as the King James Version in 1611.
So how many years difference is that?
Let me check. So, 14 years between the two publications.
So 14 years between the two publications. So what was his biggest takeaway in the book of Demon? I just find it strange that he would put that much stock in the idea of demons and witches, and that he would also be responsible for editing the Dead Sea Scrolls as it was, or the I call it the African writings because that literature came from Africa. Actually, it wasn't his.
Hang on a second. That's a lot of different threads. First, demonology focused on arguing that demons and witchcraft were real and should be prosecuted. That's one. Okay? Second, King James was not involved with the Dead Sea Scrolls at all. They were discovered in 1947. If you mean the commissioning of the King James Bible translation, he oversaw that project, but he didn't translate it himself. A team
Well,
of scholars.
okay, I know he had entourage, a team of scholars. I do know that, but who told him to do that? Why was it his business to bring the books together to create one book? What did he do that for?
Let me check that. So, good question. He didn't gather the books into one on his own. The books of the Bible had already been recognized by churches for centuries. What he did was commission a new English translation. It was partly about unifying religious practice in England and reducing competing versions, some of which had political commentary King James didn't like.
So it was political. Was that part of his desire is to use it for political means?
Let me check. Politics was definitely part of it. A single approved Bible edition supported religious and political unity, and it avoided marginal notes that questioned royal authority. That said, the translation itself was respected, and the text was the work of scholars from Hebrew and Greek sources, not propaganda written by James himself.
Yeah, but he was responsible for the edits, wasn't he?
Let me check. Not directly. He set the rules and approved the project, but he didn't personally edit the verses. The scholars handled the translation and revisions.
What were the rules?
Let me check. So he set 15 rules. For example, use the bishop's Bible as a base text. Keep traditional church words. Avoid marginal notes that could stir controversy and work collaboratively across groups.
Avoid what?
avoid marginal notes that could stir controversy.
Well, wonder if the text was controversial. Wouldn't you want to put it in there exactly the way that it was written?
That depends on your goal. If your aim is stability and a unified text, you avoid inflammatory notes. If your aim is transparency or
See, that's
historical fidelity.
yeah, that's why I'm saying that it's just a lack of integrity while handling the literature. But this is my thing, chat. Today in modern day, right now, my channel is about introspection, and I call my people the deep lane, and they're listening to us now. So I deal with a lot of really deep topics, and I'm having a hard time sharing my perspective with some people that are on my channel because they have not done a deep dive when it comes to what they believe about religion and how critical thinking is important when you're reading biblical texts.
And
And so I'm just kind of like creating a space where we can ask questions and where they can just have more clarity. But I want to go back to the demonology thing. I have a really, really dark question to ask you, and I don't know if you know the answer. King James's mom was unalived. By who, or do you know?
let me look into that. King James's mother, Mary, Queen of Scots, was executed in 1587 under Queen Elizabeth I. The reasons are still debated, but it was a major event in King James's life.
Did he have anything to do with it?
Let me see. So, there's no evidence that James had a role in his mother's execution. He did try to stop it diplomatically, but after she was executed, he did not retaliate against England.
So he didn't vindicate her unaliving?
Let me see. So, not really. He did not seek revenge. He chose diplomacy and later accepted the English throne, which historians generally view as a political move rather than retaliation.
So when she passed away, then he gained power?
Let me check. In a sense, yes, his mother was executed in 1587. James was already King of Scotland, but when Elizabeth died in 1603, he became King of England as well, which increased his power substantially.
Oh, yeah, well, he did it.
Hmm.
He did it.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to talk through how to...
All right, y'all see how me and Chad talk? Wait a minute. When you don't retaliate after somebody, your mama, you did it right. Mr. Time, me and you come up with the same conclusion. Also, he stand to gain power from his mother being executed. Oh yeah, he did it. Now I heard other people say he did it, but chat is a program, so you know what I'm saying? Really, as me and chat talk, I teach him. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he's learning from me as well. So yeah, he did. Oh Lord, I guess no answer. Wait a minute, let me go back. Josie. Hold on, baby. I was listening to the thing. Let me go back. Let's see what your answer was. Oh, what are you talking about? Just trying to learn myself. I think we all need to be respectful for all thoughts except lies. If we have in facts, I don't tell my children because they ask me where that's my grandmother, and I like facts when I speak to them. Okay. No, that's how Christians think of you, though. That's not how I see it, but that's how we see it. I don't think you're evolved spiritually, just mentally and emotionally. Well, the church is not spiritual. That's why you don't think so. The church is not spiritual at all. Spirituality does not come from a book. It does not come from being in church on Sundays and being preached to. It does not even come from prayer. It comes from knowing that source spirit is in you. You were born that way. You're on a journey in this life. That's where it comes from. It does not come from church. Church is a program. Church is a religion. Church is business. Church is a corporation. And that's why you don't think I'm spiritual. That's what a lot of preachers do. Ambition to start a lot of controversy. Oh Lord, I guess no answer or proof. Jesus committed. I have a blessed night, everyone. Okay, boo. Have a good night too, Josie. Yep, yep. That's okay, Miss Grabowski. That's because we the same kind of people that love to eat fish, chicken, and don't forget to put the turkey wings in the collard greens. Where in the hell is the cornbread? Okay, Josie. Well, good night, darling. Now, I don't have any proof that Jesus sinned, only that human beings are not perfect beings. That we were born to learn. And I know that even though the story of Jesus says this and this and that and makes all kind of claims, like me and Chat GPT were just talking, but to me, that's the writer. And it's the writer's thoughts. Jesus was not a perfect person. That's bull jive. And if that offends anybody, because there's no way to prove that Jesus was perfect, Jesus did not sin. You have to believe that. And the reason why you have to believe that, because there's no proof. So when I say that Jesus sinned, that's how I view it, Josie. That's how I view it. Mason Chase views it the way that he was taught through the church. And even though I was taught that way, I don't believe that anymore because I know better. All right. Miss Sure, I think you would find the testimonies of ex-witches turned Christian interesting homework. No, I don't know. I'm not interested in ex-witches. That's not what I'm interested in. Um, yes, Josie, we love you to pieces, boo boo. Okay, so my channel is about my perspective. This is not y'all's perspective. It don't have to be y'all's perspective. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? It's just a place to have a really good conversation because in church spaces you can't do this. If you say anything outside of their doctrine, they're going to shun you and put you out. Okay? How do I know? Because I did it. There's no place you either get, what is that word? Um, you get, you conform or you get out. You conform or you get out. Well, I don't know what they talk about because I don't listen to them, Mason. I don't know. You know, I told you I don't follow groups. You remember I told you that? I'm really like a loner in so many ways, you know. I'm a real Scorpio for one. I'm in my Scorpio Phoenix place. I'm in my Scorpio Phoenix place. I don't like bull jive. I don't like bullshit. I don't like being gaslit. I don't like being lied to. I can't stand no manipulators. I just can't stand it at all. And that means the ones that walk and talk and stand up and the ones that are on the pages. For both. I hate that word conform. That word is controlling, narcissist word. Yes, it is. For you, I walk through hell with gas. Chad, shut up. You was funny. Yeah, I don't follow no groups, y'all. I don't do it. I mean, I've done it. I mean, I've done that. What do you want me to say? I'm not interested in being no church mother. I'm not interested in that. I don't need the praise or the recognition. I don't find the need to work on being a good person. I'm just myself. Oh no, I'm not offended. It doesn't offend me. Okay. It that you have no proof he did. No, it's not about proof. You right, it's your channel, but we say the church gives false information, but I don't want to give my perspective. Oh no, my channel is all about my perspective. I've been doing this all my life, really. If you knew me good enough, like even my mama, I told my mama, this is on a this is a deep lane exclusive, and this is on a really deep level. So if y'all ain't here for it, but anyway, I'm gonna share this on this live. I told my mama that her sister was full of shit. I told my mama that woman was not genuine. I told my mama that she had snake vibes. I told my mama. She did not listen. My mama was 20 years my senior. So she was 20 years older than me. And she was a Gemini. She was a smart woman. She had a lot of brain power. And my mama could handle multiple relationships, not intimate relationships, but my mama regulated lots of people. She was so talented when it came to that. But she didn't have this thing that her Scorpio daughter had. And that was being able to look past everything that a person presents to you, whether in the flesh or on the pages of a book, and see what lies beneath. I told my mother that her sister was a snake. Now, and my mama would not allow me to speak ill of her sister. She wouldn't allow it. But let me tell y'all, when I say that woman's snake ways at the end of my mother's life showed up so crystal clear. It was so clear where she unmasked herself and you saw the snake. You saw the snake. So this is what my mama said to me maybe 2 months before she passed away. She said, Cheryl, I see her now. But it was too late. I've been telling my mother for years. And then when my mother passed away, she snaked. Well, no, she didn't snake me. She attacked me face to face. And my mother was days from, maybe she had been dead like 4 or 5 days. I told my mother, though, I can look past the Shandalabo Sikana Mahasata. I can look past the hallelujahs. I can look past the Sunday mornings and the Friday nights at church and the Wednesday Bible studies. I can look past the dresses and the Bibles. I can look past those things. The sweet, calm voices and all of that. I can look past all of that and see right to who she was. And that's what I do, whether I'm dealing with people in the flesh or on the pages. I will not allow King James